What does bending time, collapsing timelines, and co-creating with Source even look like? I'm going to explore that with you today and see if I can't articulate and give you a clear, actionable way that you can better use your time, better use your energy, create more flow, less resistance, get more done with doing less, and allow life to just support you along the way with much more enjoyment. All right, so hi, I'm Sarah Lynn Wayne. Let's get into this. So first we gotta just put out the premise that there are infinite timelines. This world is quantum. The field around us is always collapsing waveforms into particles based on our focus, our heightened emotional states, and our actions that we take. So while it may seem like your time is very linear and you do each thing one after another and things only get done one after another, that's not actually the whole truth of it. That's how our physical mind is structured to perceive it, so that we can have a concept of past, present, and creating of the future. But ultimately, there is only now, and then now, and now. And so when you're thinking about something in the past, it's actually now. Or if you're thinking about an event in the future, you're creating it now. And this isn't just like woo-woo talk. This can be actually seen when the brain is hooked up to electrodes and an athlete is visualizing their sports performance, and the body, the brain is actually doing all the synapses that it would be doing if the body was doing it. So very powerful, right? Your imagination is super powerful. Everything you're focusing on right now is happening right now, even if it was an event in the past or the future, which is why you want to cultivate an awareness of bending time and timelines and choosing them more consciously. So my human design type is a manifesting generator. If you don't know what human design is, you can look that up. It's kind of a lot to bring in. I'm not going to go down that tangent here. But as a manifesting generator type, one of my, I guess you could call it like a superpower or innate gifts is time bending. And it's something I do without even realizing it. And sometimes I haven't been really conscious of doing it. And it's taken me quite a while to even appreciate, accept that my randomness or my delaying of things or doing things out of order actually is really serving me and actually has made things more easeful and had me doing less. Now, it wasn't always like this. Like I can't say that it's always like this for me. I still have to be very conscious of using the awareness of flow and releasing resistance into the experience I want to have. So first is creating a belief that everything's always working out for you for the best and highest. And that's a belief that I feel is foundational for myself to just show up and not get so hung up on things not turning out the way I thought they should. So we can think about how we want things to turn out, what we want it to look like, how we want our day to go. But if we truly have the belief that everything is always working out for me, everything is always working out for my best and highest good, even when something that looks really crappy or feels really bad happens, there's always a gem, there's always a gift. And it may not be realized for a while, but that is always the case. And that actually becomes the timeline because of the belief established. So first thing is making sure that you've established some foundational beliefs that things do work out for you. Okay? And time really is not linear, even though our physical mind loves to think it is. We have to realize that we're shrinking and expanding the time frame based on our excitement, based on our frequency, how we're feeling, and how we're flowing through it. So when we're at a really high frequency or moving in a really fast brainwave state, time can move very quickly. Things just happen one thing to the next. When we're in a slower, more expansive, or the brain waves are very long, time can feel very slow, and like what felt like, an hour was 10 minutes. Like that could be how we're experiencing time. So we don't want to get too hung up on these seconds, these minutes, these hours. Sure, we've created that structure so that we can meet people at the time we need to meet people. I think that's really the only main benefit of actually having a time, is so we don't miss each other. Now, if we're highly intuitive and telepathic, then we just meet up with people, right? It's like, you ever feel like you're thinking about someone and then you run into them at the grocery store, or you are thinking about your mom and then she calls you? Yeah, that's like, in a sense, a little essence of this bending time or collapsing timelines, because you're creating that focus and allowing the universe, source, to co-conspire with you. And that's the point of this, is I want you to work with the energies around you so that you don't have to do so much, so that you don't need to be so busy all the time, and you can let things unfold and trust that you have a partnership in all this. It's not just you having to do it all. So we can learn to navigate our actions in flow with our intuitive guidance. When we do that, things just become more smooth and more they get taken care of without us having to do all the actions for getting them taken care of. Example, let's say you have a full day, you don't know how you're going to fit in this project, and you have all these appointments over the next week, and you just don't see any room to, work on that garden that you wanted to work on, right? You got to take care of all the other things with your business. Well, when you get honest and look, do I really need to meet with this person right now? Or maybe somebody cancels. It's about stepping back and getting curious and releasing the resistance and the constriction to your schedule, to how things need to be, and allowing some more spaciousness before having to figure it out or take action or solve it. Because if you're approaching it from the energy of, I have to figure this out, and I feel tense and I feel overwhelmed or anxious, you're actually going to continue to snowball that energy into more things that you need to be anxious about or feel like you need to be anxious about, more things that feel overwhelming or constricting. And, it's okay to be full and have a really full schedule and put lots of things in your life, but being relentlessly busy just because you think that's what you need to be doing is a recipe for burnout. It's not sustainable. For some people, it's way less sustainable than others, but it's about taking an honest look at where you are constricting energy from supporting you. And so when you wait a little bit longer, sometimes that person you needed to get in touch with just calls you. Or say you had this errand you needed to run, you needed to go get some lemons at the grocery store, and I don't know how I'm gonna have time to just go pick up the lemons. Find something more spacious, and even if you feel like you don't have time, just to allow yourself to relax more, and you might go on a short little walk and find someone has a lemon tree. Pick a lemon, or somebody in your family comes home with it, or the idea of even asking somebody for something pops in when you're more expansive and spacious. This is the thing, is that we have to allow our energy to relax and be in a observational state so that we don't miss the opportunities that are right in front of us. And so, sometimes even, like, this isn't always the case, but when you leave your engine light on, it's not like an urgent one, right? Like if it's the urgent one, definitely go do something about it. But one of those lights on your dashboard, you're like, oh, what is this about? It could be urgent, not. And then the next day it corrects itself, right? So, oh, I didn't really need to go do that. Or you delay booking the airline ticket, and then the event cancels. Oh, so there's a purpose behind sometimes these delays or these not taking actions. And there is a nuance to knowing, am I just being a procrastinator and avoiding something I need to do? Or is there something really deep down intuitive in me that just knows I need to wait? That is such a beautiful practice to step back and listen. And part of that is getting out of your head and getting into your body more, getting into your heart, getting into your gut, and listening more to what's really calling me right now. And being in a state of excitement and joy. And that in of itself allows you to see more opportunities and take more supportive actions so that things unfold better for you. Other thing is also getting clear. What is it that you want? Do you want to go to this event? Maybe you really don't want to go to the event and that's why you're delaying the ticket. Or, maybe you haven't fully decided that this is something you want. Or maybe you need to just really sit with yourself and ask, how do I want this to look? How do I want to experience this? Do I really want to spend time with this person, right? Another thing too is, I'm not saying don't schedule, don't plan out your day, don't be strategic. Absolutely do those things, but do them from a place of feeling expansive, feeling easeful, peaceful, and use more curiosity than forcefulness, because that's going to allow for the space to co-create with source. That's going to allow for that magic to show up, the opening of doors when you couldn't even see a door, ideas that weren't even accessible just pop in. People will present themselves to you who you didn't even realize you needed to know them. Or, that house you've been looking for, wanting to move into, suddenly you meet somebody, at the community center and they happen to know someone who's got a place to rent. Or, just randomness. I'm going to use quotes for this. It looks like randomness, but it's really, you've set your clear intention, and then you've sat back and relaxed and allowed yourself to take action when it feels exciting or it feels guided or it feels more natural. So just really pay attention to those areas and open yourself up for something better to unfold. I love to say this or something even better, or not at all. Everything must be for the highest good of all, or not at all. And when you feel blocked, especially when you have that feeling of I'm blocked or I'm stuck, that's when you're forcing it. That's when it's fear-based. It's only going to bring more fear-based type of experiences to you. So use that as an opportunity to just notice, be curious, use your breath to release. Breath work is so incredibly important to this process of being in flow and collapsing timelines. And then focus on trusting that you don't need to figure it out in this moment, that somewhere in some future timeline or some other timeline that's happening now, it's already been solved. It's already been resolved for you. The you that has already figured it out exists. It's just about you coming into alignment with that person, that form of you, or that experience. So it's not about going out there and getting it or making it happen. It's about being it right now and letting things unfold and collapse to support that. All right, so you may actually find that you didn't really need to do the thing, or that what you thought was important wasn't important, or someone else did it for you, or source worked it out for you. All right, I hope this was helpful in some way. If it was, let me know. And if you have any ideas for what you'd like me to share with you in the future, I love your questions and feedback. All right, I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day.